face was completely white. Her lips were purple. I didn't feel her breathing. I'm screaming for my husband. Carrie, get in here.
911, there's your emergency.
At my house, my daughter needs serious help. She was in the shower and she screamed for me. I helped her out of the shower. She fell to her knee. And by the time I got in there, I got her out. She sat on the toilet and she fell off of it. She had open heart surgery a couple years ago.
Did she take any medication?
She takes sertraline for depression and she takes a birth control pill. Sorry, just a second.
I physically almost lost my daughter because of a pill that I was giving her to help her with her menstrual periods. You got a little sniffle, oh, here's a medication. You got a little cough or something, here's a medication. You got anxiety, here's a medication. You got really bad depression, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Here, try this medication. Well, that didn't work, here, try this one. And I want to help you, I want to help your wife, I want to help your sister, I want to help whoever I can to realize how important the carnivore diet is with menstrual periods, with sleeping, with being a better wife, with being a really good mom.
Quick interruption. Did you know we have an incredible membership site for you called healinghumanity.life? We have a special offer going on right now. Learn more at the link in the description. We have courses. We have expert Q&As with the good doctors. We even have a Healing Humanity Heroes Zoom call once a week, highlighting real heroes that will inspire you on a path to healing. The community is wonderful. We're going to be implementing a buddy system so you can be held accountable, recipes, all sorts of great stuff to help you on a path to healing. Learn more at the link in the description below.
I think it is so important for people to realize there's another way besides pumping yourself full of medication, going through pain, and I 100% believe it is the carnivore diet. It has saved my life. I just had the Montello meetup. I met so many beautiful, wonderful people. We just recently lost Jeff DeProsperous, and Carrie did a video on that. Boy, I'm getting goosebumps. And did a video on that, and his story was, and it will always live on, is he wanted to help people. I'm going to take his mantra, and I want to help people. I want to be inspiring. I want to help you. I want to help your wife. I want to help your sister. I want to help whoever I can to realize how important the carnivore diet is with menstrual periods, with sleeping, with being a better wife, with being a really good mom. So I think my health issues started, I was always a very active kid, and I always did a lot. I went swimming, I went hiking, I biked, I did everything as a kid because we didn't have a car to get around, so that was my way of getting around. When I met my husband, or my boyfriend at the time, Carrie, we were 14. For those 2 years before we got a car, we were very active. If we wanted to go anywhere, we would have to walk, ride our bike, take the bus, do whatever. But once we turned 16, I think that's when our health issues kind of went down the drain, meaning we were just able to drive a car around. We didn't do the walking, the biking, the hiking, all of that stuff. And I think for me personally is when I started gaining some weight. I noticed in myself. I've always been heavy since about 16 up, and I've tried all sorts of diets. I've tried the keto diet. I've tried Weight Watchers. I've tried fasting. You know, when I did the keto diet, I was able to lose about 60 pounds, but it came back. There was nothing that I could do. It's not a lifestyle change. You do it for a little bit, you lose the weight, you feel better, and then you fall back in your rut again. The difference with carnivore is it's a lifestyle change. You need to cut back on things. When I first started over 200 days ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try for 30 days, and then on the 31st day, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. I'm going to have the cookies, the cake. And I don't know why I thought that. I just thought, it's normal. This is what people do. And I lost a bunch of weight. I've lost about 40 pounds so far. I've lost inches on my waist. I've went down pant sizes, t-shirt sizes. My brain fog has gone away. My fatigue has gone away. I'm more active. I wouldn't be on camera right now, I'll tell you that. I'm a very shy person. So that's definitely changed as well. So I guess my health issues all started when I was about 16. I had my first baby when I was 25. I had to have a C-section. And my baby, it could be my fault, I don't know, had heart issues when she was born. Could be my fault, it could just be genetics, I don't know, we'll never know. We'll go into that a little bit later about her. Then a few years later, a little over 2 years later, we had triplets, and I had to have a C-section for that as well. So I've had 2 surgeries, and then I also had a major surgery of getting rid of my gallbladder. I was very sick, I was very sore, I couldn't stand up, I was on all sorts of medications. I mean, any medication you can think of to get rid of the pain, I did it. And no doctor ever said, well, what are you eating? Maybe try to change your diet, maybe not eat fatty foods. Nope, it was all, here, take this medication. Here, try this medication. Here, try this. Not maybe try to change your diet. So over the last 200 days, I have definitely learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about the standard American diet. I've learned a lot about the American society, and I am here to talk about it today and how angry I am actually at myself, at my parents, at the doctors who say that they're going to help you, but they're really not helping you. So we're going to go into detail about that now. I'm going to talk about my daughters. Like I mentioned, my one daughter had heart issues. I am trying to hold it together right now because it really does upset me. As I mentioned, my daughter was born with a heart defect. Whether it was my fault from when I was carrying her or if it was an actual defect, I will never know. I'm always going to have it as a mom that I might have done something that I could have prevented it if I was actually carnivore. Maybe she would have been healthier and stronger and maybe been able to fight whatever was going on when she was inside of me. She was 13 years old when they told us that she needed to have open heart surgery. Came as a shock. We went in and she was having a hard time breathing, and we took her in and they said, yeah, she's got some issues with her heart. We need to have emergency surgery for her. And I was like, wait, what? I'd never heard any of this. When she was born, she had an enlarged heart. We knew that. We knew she would grow into it. We never knew that she would have tricuspid issues with her heart, and it would just kind of go down. They said if she wouldn't have surgery, she probably wouldn't be alive today. So we're like, of course she's going to do it. So a couple of things with that. Not only does she need open heart surgery, I'm talking about full-blown open heart surgery at age 13. They cut her open. They pulled her chest apart. I'm going to start crying. They cut her ribs, so she has to have rings around each one of her ribs to hold it in place. They opened her chest. They pulled her heart out. So they had to do a full-blown open heart surgery on this 13-year-old kid. But can you imagine? Before that, my husband and I were in there, and we knew it would be an 8 or 9 hour surgery. About an hour and a half, 2 hours into what we thought the surgery was, we got a call from the doctor or the nurse. I don't remember who it was. They said, can you please come back to your room? We were still at the hospital. Can you please come back to your room? We want to talk to you. Lily was not able to have surgery. So we went back frantically. We're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my kid? Well, not only did she need open heart surgery to fix her heart issues, she had a skin condition that we were unaware of. She had HS. If you look that up, it's a really awful, awful skin condition that could easily be treated with the proper diet. They just said, take this medicine, take this medicine, take this antibiotic. You know, they didn't actually get to the root cause of it. So they said, we can't do surgery on her and cut her open until you get rid of that because it's like a bacteria infection. So we had to wait, I think it was 3 months before she got to go in again. So the poor thing, she was put under, she woke up, she was sore, you know, they took out the breathing part to her throat. So when they were going to put her under, she's like, am I done? Is it over? And we're like, nope, sorry, you didn't get to do it. So doctors messed up, we messed up, the government messed up, the standard American diet, as always, let us down. Fast forward 3 months, she had to go back in, did the same thing. After she was on 3 months of steroids, she was on antibiotics, she was on ointment, everything that could have been preventable. Oh my goodness. So not only does she have open heart surgery to fix something, to get her tricuspid valve fixed, which unfortunately they told us, you know, maybe in about 10 years she'd have to go in and have it again, and then so far and so on. Every 10 years she'd have to have another surgery where they would physically open her up, pull her heart out, and fix her heart. So she went in, she did that, and then rewind a little bit. So she was a lot younger than the normal age girl to get their menstrual period. Okay, so I was 11, I was young. I thought that was really young. I thought you maybe be 15, 16, so on and so forth, whatever. My daughter, who had open heart surgery, was 9 years old when she started her period. I'm sorry, it's not something I normally like to talk about, but I want to talk about it to parents that need to realize this. It was the food that she was eating. It was my fault for giving it to her. I was trusting the government. I was trusting the food pyramid that you're supposed to give them so much fruit and so much carbohydrates and just a little bit of meat. And I was following that. So she was a healthy kid. She was in basketball. She was in all sorts of sports. Very, very healthy. But she started her menstrual period very early at age 9. So from that, she went from having really, really bad, very rough menstrual periods to, Mom, I can't take this anymore. Something's got to happen. Put me on a pill. Give me something. I can't do it anymore. And to watch your kid cry because she is in so much pain from a natural thing that happens to every woman, I couldn't take it anymore. So I did some research and I found out that you can do birth control pills. I wasn't on board with it because, first off, I don't like medication at all. I never have. I got a lot of migraines before Carnivore. I used to not like taking even Tylenol. So putting my kid onto a birth control pill was really against my judgment. And they always say there's side effects or there's a 1% chance. Guys, 1% chance that you can get a blood clot. Do you know what that 1% was? Who that went to? That went to my daughter, who just had open heart surgery. I think it was about 2 years later, after her open heart surgery, she was calling me in the bathroom. And I really don't want to start crying now. She was calling me, Mom, Mom, Mom. I ran in the bathroom really quick. And she's like, I can't breathe. And I'm like, okay, I thought it was maybe her heart. Maybe it was because of something went wrong with her heart. Nope. So she actually was having a blood clot that went from her legs up into her chest, into her heart, into her lungs. But guys, in the meantime, okay, rewind again. In the meantime, we took her to the doctor. Her legs were hurting her. They hurt, and then the back of her legs hurt, and then the back of her thigh hurt, and then she said her stomach was hurting. Doctor said, oh, no, there's nothing. Don't worry about it. You're just growing. It's just growing pains. Don't worry. Lily was smart. She kept saying, Mom, it's not growing pains. It's something else. It's something else. I, stupidly, as a mom, was listening to the doctors because you always think doctors know best. They went to school. They went to medical school. They know what they're talking about. No, I didn't listen to my daughter. She was actually having a blood clot that went in her legs all the way up into her heart, into her lungs. I physically almost lost my daughter because of a pill that I was giving her to help her with her menstrual periods. So if you're a mom, a grandma, a daughter, a sister, whatever, don't put your kids, family members, friends, whatever, do not let them go on birth control pills. There's other ways to do this. I will get into that later with myself. So she was in the bathroom. She's calling me, Mom, 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 I need you. I can't breathe. I didn't even get to catch her quick enough that she fell to the ground in the bathroom that I couldn't catch her. I looked at her. Her face was completely white. Her lips were purple. I didn't feel her breathing. I'm screaming for my husband. Carrie, 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 get in here. I'm holding this naked kid on me. I don't know what to do. I had to go call 911 really quick.
911, there's an emergency.
At my house, my daughter needs serious help. She was in the shower and she screamed for me. I helped her out of the shower. She fell to her knee. And by the time I got in there, I got her out. She sat on the toilet and she fell off of it. She had open heart surgery a couple years ago.
Did she take any medication?
They couldn't figure out what it was because our hospital here is so tiny. They had to actually med flight her to a bigger place, a bigger hospital to figure it out. So not only did I have to leave my 15-year-old daughter behind while she's flying in a helicopter, I drove as fast as I could to the hospital to see what was going on. Anyways, we were at the hospital. They were like, we have to do emergency surgery. And we're like, no, what else can we do? And she stayed in for a couple of days. She got stronger. She doesn't remember a lot of things that happened. I had to give her shots twice a day, every single day for 3 months in her arm. Her arms, both sides, were completely purple. I had to do the inside of her legs. She begged me to stop. And this is all because her menstrual period, because the doctor said, oh yeah, let's put her on a menstrual period pill, just a period pill, and that'll take it away. Then she doesn't have to worry about her periods anymore.
Quick interruption. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in learning more about our documentary, Healing Humanity, The Power of a Proper Human Diet, or supporting it, please visit donate.healinghumanity.movie. Our goal is to reach millions of people that are hopeless right now and sharing the examples of real people over the course of 1 year that are undertaking a proper human diet to overcome obesity, type 2 diabetes, depression, anxiety, fertility issues. We couldn't do it without you. We thank you so much. We are also selling these shirts, Healing Humanity, The Power of a Proper Human Diet. Every penny we get from those goes towards the documentary. And last, we have memberships. If you click the little join button, it's best to do it on desktop. Under any one of my YouTube videos, you can join and become a member. We have hundreds of members right now. We do members only videos. We do members only behind the scenes. You can email me as a member and I'll answer you. And every penny from that goes to support the documentary. And the last thing is we have these Redmond's portable salt shakers. These things are awesome. You can get the best salt. You can take it with you. We sell these on the website along with our water bottles and cutting boards, and every penny from all of those goes 100% towards supporting the documentary. You can also sign up for our newsletter, which is completely free. All of these links are in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to today's video.
So before I even put her on the pill, we were discussing other things that we could do. There really was nothing else we could do that the doctor told us about. Not maybe changing your diet, changing what you do, changing your exercise, getting more sleep, whatever. It's always here's medication. Here, I'm going to write this out for you. Here, I'm going to give you this. Here's a prescription. Oh no, I have a lot of kids that are starting menstrual periods early and earlier. Like I said, I was 12. I thought that was young. She was 9. So my triplets too were very young at a young age, but Lily really got it the worst. And I think it's sad that today's society, the doctors, instead of telling you, change your diet, change your ways, change your sleep, they just throw stuff on you, whatever they can. You need you got a little sniffle, oh, here's a medication. You got a little cough or something, here's a medication. You got anxiety, here's a medication. You got really bad depression, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Here, try this medication. Oh, that didn't work, here, try this one. Oh, that's sorry, it still didn't work, here, try this one. And then they keep going over and over and over about different medications. Lily was actually on an SSRI as well. She was on many medications after her open heart surgery because she was so depressed. Can you imagine being 13 years old and having your life pretty much ripped away from you, and then 2 years later having a blood clot? I mean, that kid went through so much. She had to grow up so quickly. But again, as a parent, if I would have known about carnivore, if somebody would have told me, if there was a doctor out there that said, maybe change the way you and your daughter are eating, maybe your depression will go away, maybe your menstrual period will be better, maybe you will sleep better, maybe you'll feel better, maybe your skin will start glowing. All these benefits to carnivore, nobody talks about it. And then if you do talk about it, people are like, oh, like shunning you, like, oh, you shouldn't just eat meat, that's really bad for you, or you're going to have a heart attack, or you're going to clog your arteries or something like that. I'd rather take my chances with that than pump my kids full of medications that are completely unnecessary. So going back to the HS really quick, she was a young kid. Carrie started carnivore. He was on it for about 8 days, and he saw Michaela Peterson, who was young. She always had skin issues. She always had some sort of health issues. She started doing carnivore, and she saw a complete difference. So Carrie, being a carnivore already, over a week, he's like, you know what, Lily, why don't we try this? Why don't we try doing carnivore? Try it for 30 days, see what happens. And I swear, within that first week, I would look at her back and I'm like, Lily, your bumps, your irritation, your redness is all going away within the first week. It was absolutely amazing. There was no pills, there was no cortisone creams, there was no medications whatsoever. It was just actual sticking to a proper human diet, just eating meat. There was no vegetables, no fruit, no nothing, no medications, nothing. Like I said, it was absolutely amazing. I could not believe it. She did it for 30 days. She was absolutely thriving on it. Her HS was about 90% cleared up when the doctors told us there's nothing you can do. She'll have this for the rest of her life. Give her this medicine, give her that, give her this shot. It'll take it away. But never once did they ever say, maybe switching your diet. They were just shoving all medication. And what does that mean? That means that doctor gets more money. That means that pharmaceutical company gets more money because they're getting you to purchase their products. And she did it 100% on her own, didn't need anything. So if that's not proof enough for you that carnivore works, I don't know what is. I can tell you my story. I'm actually a very, very stubborn person. It took me over a year. I was a vegetarian pretty much my whole life. Every once in a while I'd have some turkey or something, maybe on Thanksgiving or Christmas, but my whole life I had carbs, vegetables, fruits, all the stuff, and I barely ever ate meat. So it was very difficult for me to just flip a switch and be like, you know what, Jen, maybe you should just eat some meat and see how it goes. But it took me over a year to watch Carrie's transformation. My girls started doing it, see their transformation. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it for 30 days. I'm like, this isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to see any changes. That first week, I think it was maybe the fourth or fifth day, I woke up the next morning and I'm like, Carrie, I think I slept really well last night. And he's like, you didn't snore. And he would listen to me every day snoring. I'm talking about loud snoring. And I didn't get a lot of sleep because when you snore, you're not getting the proper sleep. So that definitely changed in me. My mood changed in me. Unfortunately, when I started carnivore, the week that I started carnivore is when I got my menstrual period. Okay, I know I don't like talking about that, but for the women out there, you really need to know this. Gary was always saying, well, I watched this lady on YouTube, or I watched this person, I read this, I read that. It's definitely going to help you on your menstrual period. I've had mine since I was 12. I had the worst migraines. And like I said, I hated taking pills. I hated taking, Tylenol, whatever. But there were some days where I had the worst migraine. I was in bed all day. Even the next day, I would take pill after pill after pill. I would go to the doctor. They would prescribe this kind of medicine, that kind of medicine, all this stuff. That first menstrual period that I had over 200 days ago was the lightest one, the best one that I've ever had in my life. I had maybe one headache during that whole time, and it's absolutely astonishing. I no longer take Advil. I no longer take Tylenol. I don't depend on anything. I feel better. I can sleep better. I can see a total change. I did not start this for the weight loss. I started it for the clarity in my head. I did it for the energy. I did it to be with my family. The way I was going, Carrie was going this way, down, losing weight, getting energy, and I was going up. I was gaining weight, losing energy. I didn't want to do anything during the day. I was getting depressed, so I knew I needed to change something. So within that first couple of weeks, I felt so much better. You can have the clarity, you can have the energy, you just thrive on it, and you just feel so good. I think it is so important for people to realize there's another way besides pumping yourself full of medication, going through pain, and I 100% believe it is the carnivore diet. It has saved my life.